My friends, hello and welcome to GoldenEye SPEEDLORE. Yes, we are back, and I'm really happy to be back with another episode for you all. And tonight is the first night where I've actually not announced the stage before doing the level. It's a stage where, believe it or not, only 7 speedrunners have ever held a world record. Only 7, and only 6 of those have set an untied world record. But a stage with a lot of history, and a stage that's especially personal to me because I'm one of those speedrunners who, alongside Wouter Jansen, has set 5 different untied world records, more than anyone else on this stage. Tonight, we're going back to a level where I've seen a lot of crazy things, and made some pretty epic videos, including one from 2008, which I've never shown anyone since all the way back then. This is Silo 00 Agent. So let's take a look at the level, and it's going to be an amazing episode, for sure. The objectives on Silo 00 Agent: plant bombs in fuel rooms, photograph satellite, obtain telemetric data, retrieve satellite circuitry, minimize scientist casualties. Okay, so let's get all this going and watch a video. And the first video we're going to show tonight is going to be one by a really vintage leader who went by the name DarthRob. And this is going to be about a 3-minute speed run. So let's watch through and see how things go. And you can see the interesting thing with Silo is that there is that timer at the bottom of the screen. So you only have 8.5 minutes to beat the level, which makes it very stressful. DarthRob is going to go in this room and pick up the circuitry. He's going to try to lure a key card off of the scientist. There he has it. Now he has to pick up, he's going to select the plastique, and he's going to throw it at a wall. There we go, perfect. Now, basically there's about 4 big rooms in Silo, where you have to plant the bombs, the plastiques. And most of those rooms will have either a circuitry or telemetric data, and scientist key cards, which you generally need to move on. And in the final one of those 4 rooms, you have a satellite you have to take a picture of. So we'll see that come up. We're now in the second of these rooms. There's the circuitry and there's the key card. Pretty good. That was a pretty quick room there. And he's going to throw a plastique at the wall. Now, interestingly on this level, if you just leave GoldenEye, you just plug in the game, turn it on, it'll show you some like cutscenes, kind of teach you a little bit how to play the game. And this level's cutscene shows Bond like carefully aiming and throwing the plastique at a certain point on the wall, but you quickly find out that it doesn't need to be, at any specific point in the room. It simply has to be in the room. And the thing with the plastique as well, though, and runs do fail this way, is it has to land and like stick to the wall or the floor or the ceiling. If it skips, it bounces, which happens with explosives in this game, then the objective fails, sadly. And there have been world record runs that have failed because of it. And now in this room, DarthRob just picked up all of the items, the telemetric data, which is an objective itself, the last circuitry, so he's completed that objective, and a key card. And now all that remains is to him to take a picture of the satellite and to throw the plastique in the 4th room and then run to the end. And I mean, another thing you will notice with Silo 00 Agent is it is a very, very difficult level to live. You can see how much damage he's taking. He's almost dead now. He can take one more hit. This is crazy. This is unbelievable. There we go. Now he's paused. He has a camera, and now he's gonna get hit again. Nice. Objective B is completed. He's gonna throw a plastique. It's gonna be objective A completed, And also, he is now... Oh, he's YOLOing the end. This is pretty tough. Luckily, no more than 2 scientists have passed away, so he's completed Objective E. And there we have it. There's a Silo Double Agent run. 3 minutes and 11 seconds from very long back in the day. This guy, DarthRob, when I joined in 05, he had been retired from the game, so this is a really old run, and it's a pretty good run, all things considered. It's not worth points on the rankings today, but it probably was worth like 60 or 70 points when he got it. Very nice stuff. And yeah, I mean, you can see, a couple things to keep in mind are how hard it is to survive that level. He got body armor, he was being careful, and it was still difficult to survive. And picking up the items in the rooms is another big thing. So now we're going to move to really the first speed run of the stage. The first ever world record is credited to be Sterling Neblett, who claimed a 2:52, so barely better than this. But about a year later, in 1999, he got this speed run, and it is indeed more of a speed run. And we're going to try to make out some things as best as we can in this run. So there, he's running through, he's got the circuit boards. There's 2 in the first room. He pauses for the plastique. He's going to chuck the plastique. Chucked. Okay, now he's shooting to lure a guard to open that door. And the thing with that is now he's going to attempt to skip picking up the key cards. The key cards are not an objective. The circuitry and the telemetric data are an objective. So he's trying to skip the key cards. He's going to try to shoot the KF-7 to lure guards to open the doors for him. Successfully, so he's opened the second room door, throws the plastique, takes out this guard, and he's going to go on his merry way. And I mean, there can be times when you are on a world record pace run and the guard just happens to not open the door for you, which can be very upsetting. But there's the third room open, there's the telemetric data, there's the circuitry. He is picking up the key card for the last room. Again, this is 1999. It's 20 years ago, which is pretty hard to believe. Throws the plastique. I bet, Carl, I bet this was actually insane back in the day in 1999, seeing someone beat this level this quickly. Sterling is going for the body armor. That body armor, interestingly, is only half of a body armor, so it gives you 4 extra health. 4 extra health bars. So you can get that body armor and still easily die. So it's not a guarantee. Getting the body armor is far from a guarantee. He opens the door himself. He pauses at the satellite here. It's a bit risky because if a guard blows up the satellite before you manage to take a picture of it, you fail that objective as well. Here's a plastique thrown at the wall. He opens this door and he slowly enters it and tries to beat Ormov on the way in. Some might remember, Ormov has a briefcase in his hand. And if you use a cheat like a golden gun weapon to defeat him, he also has like a key, a weird key, but neither of those are objectives. I believe they were going to be objectives early on, but they were later removed from the game in favor of these other ones. So Sterling, one of 2 men to, or one of 7 men to get a world record on this stage at all, and one of 6 men to get an untied world record on the stage. And there we have Sterling's runs, and this one in October 99 would be the last time he would get a world record on this stage. Now, a year later, it stood for a year later. It's a 154. But the following October 2000, Wouter Jansen got a 153, which was a pretty nice run. And then he would work to improve it throughout the year 2001. So let's take a look at how Wouter Jansen improved Silo Double Agent over the course of the next year, 2 years. So here we have a webcam version. It's not terrible webcam for the year 2001. He's running out here. He's busting in. He's gonna take out some of these guards. You know what? I didn't check this video to see if the sound was copyright free or not. So I'm just gonna turn it off since it's just a random song. There he's going to. It looks like he threw the plastique and maybe picked up the keycard as well. And you see he's making good time through the stage. Gonna take out some guards. You can kind of see the way he's weaving around to avoid getting hit. And he got the circuitry there. He's pausing on the stairs, throws the plastique in the room. Pausing on the stairs is a pretty good idea because guards can't shoot you from every angle, right? If you pause in the middle of a room, guards can, hit you from anywhere. But luckily, it's a good idea to pause on the stairs. I expect he'll do it again in this third room. There's a circuitry. He kills that guard. He's going to pause on the stairs. Pretty good. He's going to throw the plastique, and he's going to skip getting the body armor, which is pretty amazing. This must have taken him many, many runs. I mean, I know from experience this takes, hundreds of attempts, thousands of attempts to survive a run, let alone on a world record pace, and he has survived successfully. He's opening that door. Now that is an interesting strategy. Opening the door, then pausing, throwing the plastique, objective complete, runs out, strafes to the end, bingo, bango, he's in, and this would be a 137 on Silo Double O Agent. You could barely make it out there for a couple frames. Quite an improvement from Sterling's 154. So Wouter improved that with 153, then a 141 in January 01, and this run was December 01. A pretty good improvement. And you could see how much time he saved from skipping the body armor and just general optimizations. So really nice run by Wouter there. This would be the third untied world record he would get on this stage. Now, it would remain an untied world record for quite a long time, nearly 2 years. Boss tied it in September 03. And then Wouter, 03, Wouter was still in the game. Boss was coming along, making a run up to the championship, but Wouter was still in the game, and he was still going to try to defend some of his world records. It's really hard to say how much time is saved from the body armor. It could be like up to 10 seconds, somewhere in that range. It's not like a 20-second time save. I would put it around 10, somewhere between 7 and 10. Maybe it would take 6 seconds, like perfectly optimally. But that's just a ballpark. So yeah, Boss was coming hard for Wouter, and Silo was a level where Wouter felt like he could make a stand on. Wouter got a 136 in November 03, and then he followed up with this run only a few days later, November 9th, 2003. And that opening cutscene for Silo, you can tell this is PAL console, which is slightly disadvantaged. I think there's a couple more guards on PAL. The guards have different, roaming points. Their patrolling positions are a little bit different than NTSC, which can affect things. But back in 03, we weren't completely optimized yet, so, it wasn't a massive deal. But something to note, throws the plastique. That guard patrolled to open that door exactly at the time he needed it to. And yeah, I mean, Wouter was known for having really good quality footage his whole life. He was one of the first people with videos at all. There's a circuit board. It's going to pause. Plastique. Nice. Throws on the wall. He's going to take out that guard. Really nice. And so this, the way Wouter's playing the level now, really would become the sort of way that the level would be established to play. Wouter's doing everything that you're seeing in sort of a normal Silo run. Yeah, this would definitely pass proof call today, no questions asked. This is really good. It's like, can you hear the audio and can you see everything? Yes, so it's adequate. Hitting those guards and having, I mean, there are times when he maybe could get hit, but the guards are slightly less accurate on PAL, slightly less. And I think that's what you're seeing is a lot of those times when the guards take dead aim and miss, you're seeing the effect of, you know, a minor advantage that PAL might give you. Silo 00 Agent 134. Amazing. Really an amazing speedrun. And Wouter was pretty happy with that. I mean, you can see it would have been about a 3-second untied over Boss. And I expect it would have been a way bigger untied over anyone else. Like, third place was probably really far behind at that point. I think I saw in the rankings, like, Graham Morris had a 151. Like, that might have been third place, no joke. So this was really solid for 2003. And sadly, though, as 2003 went to 2004, Wouter's gameplay, his times, they would slow down. And Boss would catch back up pretty much on every single level. And so the next one we're going to watch is Boss's response to Wouter's run in April 2004. And you can tell you can tell right off the bat this run was captured by Jimbo. I don't know if I mentioned it in a Speedlore, but certainly in some other videos. Jimbo had dial-up internet until like 2007. I know some people watching probably don't even know what dial-up internet is, but it was like, you know, 56 kbps. And so in order for him to more quickly transfer the video files, he would have to make them as short as possible. So he would start it like a second before Bond got control before Boss got control of Bond. And I know, man, it is funny. And the thing is, these video files are like sometimes 5 megabytes, 14 megabytes. So yeah, it's crazy. I mean, good times back in the day. Here's Boss's run. So he's taking out these guards for a KF7. Injuring the guards. So we'll pause up here. The plastique. He shoots once at the door to get the guard to open it. And now it's like there's more thought in these runs going into things like how many times you should specifically shoot in order to... Okay, no, that's a good strategy. Pausing in this location, going the far way around the stairs, and then doing like a spinorama up the stairs. That became a pretty standard thing. That was kind of, I want to say Brandon Sanford was the first to do it, and it became a well-established method for the second room here on Silo 00 Agent. There's the DAT. Yeah, so early on, like, you'd want to shoot 3 bullets or 6 bullets very, very intentfully to get certain guards to open doors and not to alert too many other guards. And I was going to go through here. He's pretty healthy, but, I mean, you can honestly get hit 5 or 6 times starting from there. You can die from full health in there. There's snapping the picture, objective B completed, warp, pause right here. Plastique, objective A completed, warp. And you'll slowly learn like the times of like the bottom timer is very useful to tell what the time is, what it's going to be, and what your pace is as well. So really good run. The record was 134 by Wouter. And had been dropped to 132 by Boss. So there you go. Really good run. Untied world record by 2 seconds. And yeah, I want to talk about the end timer here. So the timer doesn't begin exactly when you load into the level. Or it either doesn't or it begins just before. Yeah, so it's like you don't get control of Bond till 0.61. That's when the timer starts. So your pace, like instead of, you know, you can imagine, right? Let's say the timer began at exactly 8:30 flat. You could figure out your end time by the time you warp the elevator, right? But now it's offset by 0.61. So there's an extra 0.39 you have to adjust for. Okay, so if we look at the end of Boss's run, it's going to be a 56.80, 56.70. So do the math. 830 minus 656.70. We're at 1 minute 33 seconds, 0.30. Now, you remove 0.39 because that's the kind of wasted time the timer's starting before you have control. 133.30 minus 0.39 is 132.91. So this was a 0.91, 132, a very high 132, but it was indeed the world record. And this was a good world record for Boss because, again, this was set in April 3rd, 04. And if we look at April 3rd, 04, this gave him the untied sweep on Silo. Agent 105, Secret Agent 112, 00132. And he had probably, there's a statue sweep, control sweep. So this is like Boss's prime for sure. And he was doing really, really well. And Boss would be the champion of the game like that for a solid 2 years. A very solid 2 years. And no one would contest him on Silo for about 2 years either. 1 year after this time was posted, after Boss got 132, it's interesting you bring that up, Mega Knight. Did anyone splice this record? No. But here's what's interesting. Here's a post by Jimbo, July 05. Silo Double Agent 134, Hitless Wonder. What could that mean? See, in this thread, you would just post your videos, and you wouldn't even really post a link to them usually. Here's Lou has a link to his. But you would just post them to be like, oh, I have the videos made. If you want the video, we'll talk, on AIM or MSN, and I'll send you the video file. Right? There was no, YouTube. I think YouTube didn't quite exist July 05. It may have just began. So, anyways, Jimbo's just posting, hey guys, I got Silo 00134. I have the video if anyone wants to see it. Let's take a look at this video. Nice job. He injures the guard to avoid getting hit. There's the circuitry. Pauses for the plastique. Throws on the door. Shoots 6 times and then 3 times. Oh, 6 and 6 actually. He backs up, loses full speed there. Bad call, Jimbo. He didn't know about the power of. He somehow avoids getting hit there. Gets a circuit board, pauses behind the stairs, takes out the plastique, he's going to throw it in the room. And up the stairs we go, and they're carry on. And good job kind of placing himself behind doors to avoid getting hit as much as possible. There, gets the circuit, gets the telemetric data. That guard, if you shoot a scientist twice, he's going to come after you with you can barely hear it, with a Dostovoy pistol. He's going to come after you. The DD-44 is it? Makes the warp insane. Injures these guards really good. Here's the camera. Snaps the pick. Nice. Object bay completed, warps the door. Tiny stuck, couple bumps. $134, a really nice speed run by Jimbo. And yeah, 134 would have been a tied second. It would have been Boss with 132. And then Jimbo and Wouter with 134. So pretty good run. And, I mean, Jimbo, it was known Jimbo was really good at silo at the time. And he had like a 114 on Secret Agent, which was second place. And he did tie bosses 106 or the 106 on Agent, you know, in 2003. So Jimbo had a history with Silo, and you know, so this wasn't unexpected for him to get a second place time on Silo. Pretty good time. And yeah, I mean, look, it's 2005. You know, we don't know that much about the game. Our knowledge isn't that perfect of the game, and you know, there's a cool video of 134. Pretty wild to have not gotten hit, but that's just, you know, cool. That's a really cool run. We've never seen something like it before, and good stuff. So we're gonna skip now to another year later, around April 2006. And at this point, I've now come onto the scene. And I played in late 2005. I got a bunch of cool records. The common things, you know, Runway, Secret Agent 23, Depot Agent 26, Caverns 103, Cradle 35. And then in January 06, I got my first untied record, which was Surface 2 Agent 51 seconds. And it was cool. It was the first record of the first untied record of 06. I was really happy, and it kind of showed, like, you know, I'm for real. I'm in this game, right? Well, the thing with Surface 2 Agent is that it's, you know, a bit of a troll level. You just kind of run, throw a mine, hope it blows something up, run to the end. It's not like a very complex level. And so if there are ever levels or untied records that you can see people get who might not be as, like, you don't want to say not as skilled, but there is a clear difference in skill between getting a record on like a Surface 2 or a Surface 1 or a Runway and getting a record on a more complex level like a Silo or an Aztec or a Control. So, you know, getting an untied on Surface 2 Agent was cool, but it wasn't that cool. You know, I started playing Silo. I took a really big liking to Silo. And I would eventually tie bosses 132 on Silo 00 Agent. There we go. April 13, 06. Silo 00 Agent is now tied. BBRW. Pretty cool, man. But I kept playing Silo 00 Agent. Because I was like, you know what? 132 is good. But I think I can do better. So here's a speedrun I got the next day, April 14, 2006. And I gotta say, this speedrun here is dedicated to our SPEEDLORE champion, Corey M. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon. You're the SPEEDLORE champion. This run is dedicated to you. And you know, I forget if we have, I think we have in-game audio, but no music. But time will tell. You know, it's kind of like, do you want the nerves of that epic Silo music beating down? You know. Okay, there we go. We're taking that shot. Fail to kill that guard. Get the circuitry. Throw the plastique. And it looks like at this point, that guard... Oh, that was sick. I was gonna say, at this point, this guard just opens that door. That's the right timing. But watch, I have one bullet in the clip, and I headshot that guard. That was clutch, man. That was clutch. Nice shots, injuring these guards to stay healthy. Really nice. I full health still. Nice shots. Pause behind the door. Behind the stairs. Throw the plastique. And I'm going to shoot 3 times here. Open the door. I'm going to shoot down this hallway. Get through there. Could have been smoother, man. Could have been smoother. Take out that guard. Grab the DAT, the circuit board, and there we go. I'm almost full health. Warp the door. So you can see now, I'm warping doors. Like, in the previous runs, there wasn't quite as much, like, door warping. So these are some optimizations that I'm pulling in here. There's the camera. Snap. Warp the door. Pause. Plastique. Warp. Clean ending so far. A little bit off there. In. And here we go. A Silo Double Agent 131. Pretty amazing. My second untied world record in my career. My first one Silo, and yeah, that was cool because now it's like I got an untied on a complex level. I'm for real, you know, and that was certainly a sign of my future in GoldenEye, I will say. If we look at the ending here, we'll see. I think it was a 0.73 ending, which, you know, that's 0.12. You know, away from the 0.61 cutoff point, so this will be a 131.88, a pretty high 131, but not like the highest possible. And I think we might see like the highest possible at some point tonight. But you know, once you get a taste of a level and you get really good at it, you want to keep playing it. You really do. So I also had tied the Agent 105. So now I had Untied Double Agent, tied with Boss on Agent, and I didn't have the Secret Agent record yet. So the level was very much split between Boss and I. And through 2006, I would continue to play GoldenEye and climb the rankings. I would get to around 3rd place in late 06, and at some point I decided to turn back to Silo Double Agent. And you know, felt like playing it again. Let's see what we could muster up here, you know. And this like footage is like my classic webcammed footage for sure. So we'll see. Oh yeah, Silo, you watch the whole cutscenes. I guess I should point that out as well, because it helps. This guard right here will be opening this door. So on this run, I'm using the PP7. I'm keeping it quiet. I'm using the PP7. And I think I opened the door myself, eh? Come through there. Yeah, I don't know why I used the plastique there. Like, even watching back now, I'm not exactly sure what I was trying to pull there. This run's going to be generally the same strategies. Circuitry, pause behind the stairs, do the spinorama. And this is something that we may see improved somewhat soon. Shooting bullets down the hallway. Yeah, this is the digital camera that could only film like, I think it was 4 minutes at a time on low settings, or 1 minute at a time on high settings. I mean, back then I didn't know about like SD cards. I didn't know that I could maybe buy a bigger one, but yeah, it's you know, a turn of the century digital camera. I tried warping there, but didn't quite work out. Warp. Keep rolling. Nice shots. Pull up the camera. Snap the pick. Get in there pretty smoothly. Throw the plastique. Warp. Beautiful. And here we go. Warp the ending. Boom. A Silo Double Agent, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Pretty nice speedrun that I would get in December 2006. Wow. Amazing. And like I said, you know, once you get a taste of the level, you want to keep going. You really do. At this point in 06, I had tied the Secret Agent 112. I had. And I had actually untied Agent. So right now, on the rankings, I had 104 untied, 112 tied with Boss, and 130 untied. And so I kept going. I kept grinding. And let's see what happens in 2007. I think this run again, yes. So this run would have been captured by Alex Bass Boost Anderson. And so was the previous Silo 00131. His video quality had improved slightly at this point. But here you go. Here's the plastique. And I imagine... Okay, so now the doors open a little bit earlier. I think what I did is I shot 9 times here at the beginning. Here we go. I think we're seeing 9 shot. Oh, 3, and there we go. 3 and then 3. So that second 3 lures these guys to open these doors here. So that's a little bit of an optimization, because I don't have to wait as much time at that door leaving that room. You know, now I can... probably about a second saved. Pause behind the stairs again. And now we're going to keep going. Making up some time. Throw the plastique. Make some shots. Some stucks there. Not great. Ooh, some more stucks. I'm in there. Get the telemetric data. Take out these guys. Throw the plastique. Headshot that guard. Nice warp. Beautiful headshot on that guard. Nice shot. I think this ending's really clean, actually. Warp. Boost. Almost dead. In. Silo 00 Agent 129. Pretty amazing. Yeah, man. And the thing with that one is you could clearly see a bunch of times where I got stuck. And so clearly there's time for improvement. Yeah, and again, it's like we want let's find the end decimal. It's a 35, I think. So 35. If our base is 0.61, this is a 129.26. 129.26, almost a 128, can you believe it? And with this, I mean, actually with the 110 I got in February, but, you know, with this I would have an untied sweep on Silo. Pretty amazing. 104, 110, 129. So I had 104, 110, 130, cut down the 130 to the 129. Maybe my finest gaming achievement, the untied sweep on Silo. Wow. It's truly amazing. Alright, just have to catch my thoughts, you know. So here we are, mid-2007, and something that's interesting is we're going to see a thread. And, you know, through the history of the forums, there have been some pretty interesting threads. Yeah, no kidding, that Frigate 23 by Wouter, what a legendary time. This is a thread, it's kind of funny, you know, what's the worst world record? I guess I'd made a thread called, what's the best world record? So Axel Z wanted to make him what's the worst world record? And he talks about ones that, you know, maybe are improvable. And of course, the thread kind of goes off the rails a bit, not too much. But it becomes kind of, you know, troll posting, as things often do. So here's a guy, Spider Waffle. Now this is interesting. Some of you might have heard of Spider Waffle before. He was just a very interesting character, and he would often suggest very strange strategies to use in GoldenEye and other games. I know in, like, there's lots of well-known SDA threads where Spider Waffle was posting. I haven't seen him around a long time, and I mean, honestly, like, I was a dick to this guy. I would troll him. I would, you know, be rude to him. I remember he suggested a strategy on Frigate for TASing, which is like to use grenades to like throw a grenade in such a place where it would free a hostage but not kill the hostage. And I was like, dude, this is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. And I would be really rude to the guy. And you know, if Spider Waffle ever sees this, you know, I'm sorry, dude. I hope you're doing well, because Spider Waffle did have very interesting knowledge to contribute to the game. And when he was throwing out these like insane strategy ideas that were so over the top, so outrageous, you know, I thought it was just absurd back in the day. I really did. Now, he does say this while we're on the subject of, you know, the worst world records, you know, Jimbo, and he says, let's bring another run to our attention. Silo 134, the hitless wonder, or as I like to call it, Game Shark invincibility. There's so many places where it doesn't make any sense how he didn't get hit. And then Alex says, Jimbo openly admitted to me and Goose he Game Sharked that run. Nobody seems to care, though. And Brandon says he did roll back his time. So you know, again, this is the way speedrunning was in 2005, 2007. You know, it's like people cheated, people faked runs, and it was part of like what was going on at the time. For better or for worse, right? It's like, it's no surprise that probably it was easier to cheat in baseball using steroids back in the 90s, and now that's been cleaned up, right? So cheating was pretty rampant in speedrunning back then, and it's taken time to kind of clamp down and clean it up. Now, what's interesting here is, like honestly, not a single person ever suggested Jimbo should be banned. Like, no one suggested any consequence should happen for this. What Jimbo did is he actually didn't use invincibility. What he did is he used enemy accuracy 0%, which is a Game Shark code for GoldenEye. And so with enemy accuracy 0%, you can still get hit. So Jimbo's plan was to hopefully like get hit once, so the run would look like pretty legitimate, and post it, and that was it. And the reason he did it is because I believe he had a 1 minute 33 second run, where like something messed up at the end. Like he really got screwed by the game, and you know, it was obviously upsetting. He felt like he was owed the record, or at least a 133. So he just said, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna Game Shark a 134 and call it, you know, and that's it, man, and claim my time that I kind of deserve, because he felt like he deserved that 133 on Solid Double Agent, and he also felt like, oh, it's not a world record, so it doesn't really matter. And I mean, you can tell at the time, nobody really cared. Nobody really cared. And again, that was the culture of the moment. So there you go, Jimbo's 134. I do wonder, again, let's say he did get hit once or twice, even with enemy accuracy 0, which does happen. I remember when I had a working Game Shark 10 years ago, I would try it out, and yeah, you do get hit sometimes. So what if he did get hit in that run? Would anyone have known? Would we have, you know, would it be, like, who knows how things would go? But, you know, that's the way it went. Jimbo rolled back the 134, and yeah, there you have it. And also in 2007, many will know at the end of the year is when I spliced some runs myself. And, you know, I have spoken about that in previous lores and videos, in the Frigate SPEEDLORE episode, in the Cheating in the Elite Fireside video. And, yeah, you know, like I've said in those videos, I did it for many reasons, you know. You know, I was mad about getting passed. I felt like I was becoming irrelevant. You know, Ace and Clemens were passing me. There was also, like, you know, I felt like I was kind of owed these records that I'd been kind of screwed out of, similar to Jimbo. There was a part of me that wanted to, you know, prove a point and kind of show like, hey guys, it is this easy to cheat. It's something that, like, it gets to a point where you're dedicating so many hours into the game that you're like, is it worth doing if people can cheat, you know? And it's a tough conflict to get through. So there was it wasn't the entire reason. Some people really cling on to that, like, oh, Goose claims he only cheated because he wanted to prove a point. Like, no, there were obviously other stupid reasons. That was part of it. And there is another reason that we will get into a little bit later in the speed lore. Now, that was about November 2007. I kind of had left the Elite, or, you know, laid low for about a month and a half. And during this time, Boss took advantage of my absence. Boss decided to play Silo, and Boss would get this speedrun. And again, he's seen my 129. He knows there are mistakes. He knows there's time to be saved. He's ready to rock. I believe at this moment, Boss actually finally got his own capture card, or like something like that, so he could actually make his own videos. I may be wrong about that. This might have been sent to Clemens or something. But it's going to be a pretty good speedrun. Yeah, no, Hobble, it absolutely is. That's 100% true, you know? And again, right, you know, it's like that. These are things, relics of the era, relics of the past, and yeah, some nice shots there. He's really doing good damage. Oh, he quick pause. There you go. Yeah. So that quick pause is going to really help out. I'm going to take a look at it once we get to the end of this run. I'm gonna take another look at it. But there, you know, so now we're really starting to layer on these optimizations and nice shots. Gets the DAT. Well, the thing with quick pausing is that it was probably known of since like 0506. People did quick pausing on Aztec was a common one for quick pausing, but it hadn't been like thought to implement it like anywhere possible yet. You know, it was like, oh, it's this strategy, but are we going to use it everywhere? And using on Silo was like a big kind of out-of-the-box deal because it wasn't like necessarily obvious. And because you already, like your pauses already speed up on Silo because you pause 5 times, it was kind of thought like, oh, is it really necessary to even quick pause? But Boss determined it was, and he got this run, a 1 minute 28 second run, a new Untied, really nice. Let's take a look at his quick pause here. Is that the first door? That's probably where it is. Yeah, 2 quick pauses there, really good. Like that's a big time save. And the ending is, I think, another point like 3.6. Yeah, so this is a 128.25, a very low 128. Wow. Unbelievable run. And he took away, you know, I had the Untied. Took it from me when I was away. And what can I say, man? You know, I was 18 years old at the time. I was away from the Elite, you know, after I'd spliced runs, and I was like, you know what? If I come back to the Elite, it's like, what should I do? How should I return if I will return at all? And I kind of thought long and hard about it. And obviously, even though there were some ways when I, you know, I kind of thought, should I stop playing? Should I leave? I ended up playing again. And about a week and a half after Boss posted this run, I'd now been gone from the Elite for about 2 months. I would release this next video as my return to the Elite. Now this video is, again, it's a video I made when I was 18 years old. I don't know. I don't know how you guys are going to react. I really don't know. I am a bit nervous to show it, but I mean, it's something. I've never shown it before to like probably maybe a couple of eliters I've shown it to. Hardly anybody. It's about 15 minutes long. There are about 5 songs in it. I think 4 of them I'll have to mute. It's so overdramatic, but I wanted to, you know, make a big return in a big way, and I was influenced a lot by Illu's runs, so I wanted to do something cool. You know, I'm going to turn my mic off for this run, so we're just going to watch and let you guys give the commentary, I suppose. So, and I'm going to have to change this. I'm gonna put, like, you know, royalty-free songs for YouTube. So this is somewhat of a Twitch exclusive. Of course, the video is on another YouTube channel, but it's gonna be 15 minutes, guys. So enjoy. I don't even know where to begin, guys. That was a hell of an experience. Yeah, dude, this is going on YouTube, bro. Play it again. Well, one of the funny things, Ladner, is that, look, there's a lot going on in that video. There's a lot to unpack. Boss would never get another world record on Silo Double Agent. That's true. Man. It's like... I don't know, man. Just watching that back, it's like, what would you give to go back to, like, 2007, 2008, man? What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Yeah, I guess the first thing, well, no, there's so many things I want to talk about in that video. I guess I'll talk about what I wanted to talk about, what I kind of wrote down first, and then we'll kind of go through the video and talk about a few key points and whatnot. But okay, one of the first kind of interesting things was that, like, the intro, maybe some of you guys will know. Let's see where we are at. So the intro, actually, I took inspiration from this video back in the day around YouTube at the time called Remember Me. And it was a video that was like, it was one of the most watched videos on YouTube at the time. I mean, I can't even see it now. I can't even find it, swear around. I swear when I looked the other day, I found it, but it was basically like it was like a compilation video of, like, you know, soldiers who were overseas, and the song and the kind of way the cards come in were kind of set to the same way that was set. And obviously it's way over the top, like using a video about, you know, people missing soldiers overseas, and transporting that into GoldenEye after I had been an idiot and was, you know, cheating at video games. It's completely over the top. I mean, the entire video is over the top. But the thing is, at the time, that video was actually, like, one of the most viewed videos on YouTube. It had, like, 20 million views, and this is early 2008. And that was super rare back then. So, I think it was like a top 10 most viewed video. It was never quite number one. But what it does show is, like, even back then, I was, you know, in tune with, like, YouTube culture, what was popular on YouTube, these kind of things, right? And I kind of wonder, like, look, I made that video, you guys seemed to enjoy it, which is cool. But it's like, I was clearly making videos back then, I was having a good time. But I do wonder, yeah, this must be it, Jorset. Yeah, see? You know, same song that I got to mute, but it's like November 2006, and it has, you know, 32 million views, right? So this is what I was, like, you know, using as inspiration for the video, knowing it was one of the most popular ones on YouTube. And it's, you know, I just kind of wonder, it kind of hits you, like, what if back then I started uploading videos on YouTube? You know, like, nobody did it back then because, you know, there was no monetization, there was no, you know, popularity, it was only doing it for the art. I mean, back then I never would have imagined that anyone would want to see that or get it, or, like, you know, like, who's gonna understand this? I mean, you guys know, you guys could kind of follow that crazy video, because, you know, you have hours and hours of SPEEDLORE that's kind of, you know, you kind of know what's going on. But it's not like the public YouTube would have got it. But at the same time, it's like, what if I uploaded it back then? What if I started making this kind of content back then, right? How would my life be different? You know, me, and especially everyone else in the Elite, like, we never thought anyone would enjoy watching GoldenEye videos, you know? How little we knew. How little we knew. Well, that's exactly it, New League. It's not worth thinking about. It's true. I was going to say, like, life is full of these what-ifs, you know, like, what if you asked out that girl, or what if you took that job, or what if you left that job and took a different one? And yeah, obviously, it's not good to always sit around thinking about your what-ifs, but, you know, I was going to say, is it healthy, or maybe is it inevitable to have those come back to you? And I think certainly seeing that video, I mean, you can see, it's like, I don't know, man. You guys obviously got, like, a very deep lens into my mood and my mentality back in 2007, 2008, right? So yeah, those things kind of hit you with that. Now, another thing I want to mention is that, like I said, right, that was my first video back after I'd spliced runs in GoldenEye. And, you know, I mentioned a few reasons earlier why I had done that. But the one reason that I didn't mention, I don't think I've mentioned it in other videos, is that a big part of why I spliced runs is that I actually wanted to get banned, right? It's like, at the time, I would blame speedrunning for all of my problems, you know, whether it be social problems, relationships, academic, you know, work, anything like that. I would blame speedrunning for not being where I wanted to be. And so I thought, like, okay, if I can do this stupid thing, I'm fed up with speedrunning, if I can get banned for it, then good, I'll be gone from speedrunning, I can leave forever, and I can move on from it, right? And that's maybe not an unreasonable way to have thought back then. But it's like, it's clearly not the right way to move away from something. And clearly I didn't want to, in reality, because, you know, right after I did that, I came back and started playing again, you know? But it's like, what if I could, you know, what if I did leave speedrunning back then in 2007, you know? We wouldn't have SPEEDLORE, but, you know, where would I be? Would I be better off? Would I be worse off? It's hard to know. And, you know, over my life now, I've had many opportunities to leave speedrunning, and I've never done it. So yeah, maybe, does it speak to the addiction of speedrunning? You know, is it my destiny to be here? I don't know, man. There's obviously a lot of very heavy thoughts that go around with that video. Yeah, it's like, you're in such a love-hate relationship with it that it's like you love it so much that it's the downfall of you, and you don't know how to deal with it, especially when you're that age. Now, what's funny enough is that about a year and a half later, you know, I was living up north at the time. I know that my mother and father watched that video, the Remember Me video. I think my sister told me that they'd watched it, and so it's like, ooh, that's not a video you wanted your parents to see, you know. But what's interesting is that my dad gave me some good fatherly advice, you know, once he talked to me about it, and he's like, you know, you don't have to cause a mess or leave something dishonorably, because you can do it on your own terms in your own time, and that's a better way to do it. So yeah, there you guys have it. I think that's enough deep thoughts for that video, but I mean, what a trip. What a trip. I'm glad to have shown you guys that. I mean, this, like I say, you know, there were a lot of other levels I could have done tonight, but I wanted to do SPEEDLORE, because Silo 00, because I feel like it was important to do like a very personal level as my first one back in a long time. So now let's, you know, on mute, go through some certain parts of the run. So I got 128. Yeah, boss got 128. Keep trying, loser. So this was very Elu influenced. Now, the funny thing about this video is even though at the ending I billed it as like, oh, Ilu helped me out, Ilu didn't really do much in this video, believe it or not. He just like, you know, I asked him a few things about Windows Movie Maker and he helped me out. So I kind of just, you know, billed it as, oh, Ilu helped produce it for the production cred. Really, that's really all it was about it. You know, oh, look at this video I made with Ilu. It's going to be really epic, even though I didn't, you know, Ilu wasn't that heavily involved. With the 123 pace run, let's talk about the 123 pace run. I mean, it really was insane, because again, the record was 128. And the thing I did differently, and this is where Spider Waffle comes up, I definitely no longer have the footage of the 123 pace fail, man. I definitely don't. So, Spider Waffle suggested this insane strategy, and I got mad at him about it at the time. Again, I was like, you're an idiot, dude. But, like, the thing is, it worked out. He suggested, what if instead of pausing in the second room, you get the key card in the first room, you open the door, and you pause at the door? And I was like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard, because you're only going to get injured by the two guards in the silver crates. This is the stupidest thing ever. Well, it turns out that it was a good strategy that worked and was really, really fast. And it kind of shows, like, you know, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to people. Even if they have what's, you know, it's like, it sounded like it was a crazy strategy idea that I never wanted to believe, but exactly, Yadger. Like, he suggested so many absurd ideas, and like this one actually worked, you know? And so, certainly I owe this Untied, in large part to Spider Waffle. And then it's like this is basically like the best case run. Yeah, I think sense into it, that's a really good way to put it. The delivery and humility, for sure. And here's, like, this 123 pace run is, like, the absolute best case scenario at the time. And, again, yeah, 5.6 seconds faster than the 129, so that's a 123 mid, maybe 124. Died. Could have been 124. So that was something. I remember specifically Eddie Lovins, when he saw this, the Remember Me video, he said at this point when you died on the 123 pace run, watching it, he says his jaw hit the floor, like, you know, and like, of course, I'm sure you guys felt maybe similar watching it for the first time here now, but it was crazy that I was getting these 123 pace runs at a time when Boss had 128, and the next best time would have been 134. So aside from Boss, I would have had like an 11-second Untied, which is like, it's illogical. Ace might have had like 132 by then, but yeah, it would have been huge. And then this part, I mean, there's, you know, this part just kind of my thoughts on coming back to the game. I mean, this is such a typical speedrun thought right here, like, oh man, I can't play anymore, I have other things to do, like, I shouldn't be speedrunning, I shouldn't be wasting my time speedrunning. Nah, man, like, I think a lot of speedrunners go through that mentality at some point. Believe it's your destiny, banish the evil, and, you know, again, I'm portraying Boss as, like, this evil villain, which is so far away from the truth. And then I only followed up with this 1 second Untied Silo Double Origin 127, like, you know, it could have been better, could have been, you know, maybe it would have been more epic if I came back with a 123, but I didn't. Well, you know what's funny, Saundra, about asking if this is a sequel is, you know, I hadn't made, like, the thumbnail or the title for this video yet, this Speedlore, but I was thinking about calling it, you know, the prequel, basically. Kind of like a prequel to the previous Silo Speedlore video, because this one, you know, like I say, it's also very personal, and, you know, we go to some crazy places in this one. So I think that is what I'll call it. The sequel is the following Silo Speedlore, I'd say. Well, so this is the thing, Snapple, is I mean, look, I came back with this run, 127, a new Untied. I was pretty, again, even though I'd come back just having spliced runs 2 months earlier, we were still at a time and era in speedrunning when it was part of what was going on. So no one was really like trying to get me banned or anything. So I was like, obviously my runs were going to be heavily scrutinized from that point on. People were going to be really looking at them closely to make sure they were legitimate. But like other than that, that was it. So I came back, played some more. Not long after this, I got like I think it was Streets 00-150 or Streets SA 155 Untied, which was cool. And then, well, in May 2008, just one casual morning, I cracked out this speedrun. Let's give it a watch. And one thing I can say for sure you won't see in this run is quick pausing. Boss had been using quick pausing in that 128. I had not. I just didn't like it. I wasn't convinced that it'd save time, and I was just like, you know what? Quick pausing sucks. I'm not going to do it. I don't think it saves much time. Forget about it. Obviously, that would not be the correct assumption. I don't know, Ace. I think that was like my solo Agent 104. See, okay, if you kill that guard, you're in good shape. And I hear a leg spike, I know the top door's open in this room. That's not always the case. Sometimes that door's closed, and it's kind of random, but it's open, so this is like a really fast run now. I used the spider waffle pause strategy. Got through there quick. This is a good run. We're in business. Cleanly through there. Fairly cleanly through there. Get the dat. Come up here. Get through that guard. Warp that guard. That was really clutch. Low health. I could die. I had similar health in the 123 fail. Nice. A little bit of a mishap. In. That was a .95. 125.95. So that now is a 3-second untied world record over Boss's 128. Pretty nice. Pretty nice run. And I was pretty happy with that. You know, what's funny is, like, should I have waited until I got the 125 before making that, you know, epic Remember Me video and really come back and stun the world with a 125, a 3-second untied? Probably. I probably should have waited, but, you know, I was too eager to get back and speedrun again. Yeah, this is May 2008. Juicy Moose. Indeed it is. Now, this 125, well, like I said, you know, I didn't use quick pausing in that run. I used the spider waffle pausing in front of the second room strategy. I didn't use quick pausing. And so we're in 2008, of course. Actually, no, this was February 2008. But of course, at this time, Perfect Ace, you know, is playing the game. He's getting insane records. He is quick to take advantage of my run that didn't use quick pausing. You know, Ace always plays taking advantage of every single possible time saver. So he's going to quick pause, and he is going to also do the you know, new pause strategy for the second room, and we're gonna see where it takes him. I never remembered this kind of oddly timed, this long pause. Maybe Ace has an explanation for this long pause in this video. Oh, look at this guard in the way. Warps through him. He's gonna shoot. Wow, 15 times. that was probably the amount of times Ace figured to get the far door open in the second room. So here's some shots, headshots. Open door, pause, KF7 plastique. Short errand. Throws the plastique, doors open. So now Ace is like doing work on this run. Yeah, Ace uses the trick, that's for damn sure. Through cleanly, nice headshots, really good health. Gets through at like a high 41, low 42 at that door. Pretty good run. More headshots. Pause at 37. I think I was at 36. And now Ace's pauses are maxed out. Your pauses get maxed out at 7 pauses, I think. So Ace's pauses are maxed out now. And here we get a pause for the camera. Insane boost. Almost dies. Gets through. And there we go, 44.85, a Silo 00 Agent 124. And I remember, like, being a little bit bitter about that because I knew I could have got like 123. I knew I could have had that insane Untied. But at the same time, I was slowly fading off of GoldenEye. I wasn't playing as much. You know, by this time I was, you know, in university and stuff, and so I couldn't dedicate all my time to grinding nonstop. And the kind of being sick of the game that kind of pushed me through that last era was still lingering around. And so Ace got the 124, and I kind of was like, you know what, that's life. Ace has got the record now. And Ace would keep going, man. Only a few weeks later, in May 08, Ace would get this speedrun. Again, 2 quick pauses, nice shots. So a 3-and-3 burst pattern. Stuck on the guard, not a huge deal. He's gonna fire 15 here probably, yep. Yeah, only 3 there. Warp there, yep. Use PP7. You hope that's like best case scenario. You hope to kill the far right guard and leave the left guard and hope he doesn't hit you. Throws the plastique. I know, the white noise is a bit intense. A day or 2 before one of Ace's 8th grade exams. Some bad stucks there, man. But still, he's through at a high 42, so he's a full second ahead of his last run. The way the silo doors work is they sort of work in cycles of 2 seconds. So on that run, the guard opened at 43, he got through at 42. I think on my like 127, he opened at like 41. Five bars. Yeah, he literally had the 250-word essay. It's true, guys. Nice plastique, nice warped. A little bit of stucks behind Ormov, man. Oh my god. This 123, this very easily could have been 122. It's like... That would have been 122. It was a 123.21. Pretty unbelievable. And it just kind of shows how good Ace was at the time. He would take all of these strategy innovations and put them all together and get a really good world record. Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see here he's gonna get stuck by Ormov. And again, like, I had showed 123 potential, but to actually go and get it, yeah, there's the stuck by Ormov. To go and get it is a different story. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of skill. And so this 123 Ace would set in May 08. Later that year, in October 08, Sir David Clemens would show up, and he would tie Ace's 123. Now, as time went on, you know, Here, let's see where we are. Yep, there's the Silo 123 by Ace and Clemens. We're in September 2011 now, 3 years later. The time has remained Ace and Clemens. The overall combined time of the game is starting to get down to 113. Who is going to be the one to get the world record that drives it over the edge? It would get down to 1:13:00, and David Clemens would post this video called "Who Said Anything About a Barrier?" Damn, dude. Who did say anything about a barrier? Let's give it a watch. LC Productions, in association with Elite Industries. Look, editing was pretty primitive until, like, very recently, man. I think this is a bit of a left ear run. See, this is, you know, there are pros and cons of watching on Twitch or YouTube. On YouTube, this left ear will be fixed. So, you win some, you lose some. Here's 15. Nice warp. Nice shots. There's the pause inside the second room. The door's open up top. This door is not open all the time. Yeah. This was late 2011, Ace. It does have an authenticity to it. You see through high 42, so same pace as Ace's 123. This will probably just have a better ending. Yeah, pretty low leg run too. And at this pace, it's a really good... The end of Silo's clean. You warp, you shoot those two guys, got a headshot, 24 pause. This is even faster than my 123 failed pace. He goes on the other side of the satellite. That's new. So now this is like really using every single strategy that's out there. It might have almost been 121 pace at the warp. Yeah. Totally was, man. 122.3. Pretty insane speedrun by David Clemens there, September 2011. And what's going to be interesting is that, actually, here's the thing now. I mean, the passage of time is crazy, because here's the overall time evolution of, from 2011, right? So, again, what you see here is that Clemens' Silo 00122 actually took the time down to 113. And it was Marc Rutsu's train Agent 58 that took the time down to 112.59. It wasn't always this way. When Clemens got the 122, he thought he was the one to get it down to 112.59 and break the barrier, which was a big deal. The thing is, Henning's frigate 1 minute was fake. So it had been removed from the rankings, and as a result of that time being removed, well, now all the other times got bounced back. So even though Clemens thought he had broken the barrier, because of Henning's fake time, it was actually Marc who broke the barrier. Now, in a fitting twist of fate, the 112 barrier would be broken by Clemens with Aztec's Secret Agent 131. One of maybe the best untieds when he got it ever. It was insane. It was Clemens' first untied sweep. And so it is kind of a bit of, you know, divine justice that Clemens was the one to break the next barrier. And that's where we are today. We're still in the 111s. We're kind of getting close to the one. We're getting there. We're getting close to the 110s. We're at 111.17. But that's the most recent barrier that's been broken, and that's now getting on 4 years ago. So there you go. Pretty cool little stuff going on. You know, there's a lot going on there. This 122 was a very good speedrun, and it would take a year for Marc Rutsu to tie 122. It would take about half a year more before Rayan Isran would tie it. And through 2013-14, Ace would kind of come and go with the game. But one thing that he would indeed do in 2014 was play Silo. And he would get this speedrun. This is probably a good one. I think Ace is going to have some good insight on this. I don't really remember much of it. I don't know. I think oftentimes when people got Silo records, since the level's like so personal to me, I just wouldn't watch them. There's 2 quick pauses. And I mean, look, Ace's or Clemens' 122 was like a low 122.3 with a bit of a bad ending. So 121's on the table. Nice warp. See, that was pretty much ideal. Most of the time, the left guard is going to hit you, and you're not going to kill the right guard. So most of the time, that area's not going to go as good as it went. There's some headshots. He's like, let's see, look at this. So the door was open at 46, he's through at 45. Remember the 122s and 123s? He was in at 42, a high 42. Now he's at like 45. He's like 2 full seconds up on these 122s. Alright, Ace had a handful of 122s, makes sense. It's like Ace now is on the next 2-second cycle on this level. So Ace is in the 121, 120 territory. Nice screen, nice pick. 1 bar of health, pretty risky. He could die. Nice warp. Some stucks. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wow. Wow, dude. 121. Silo 00 agent. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure if we watch Clemens's 122, we're going to see him warp the door here. Look, he warps at 15, 7:15, and he, like, has some errors, like, a, bit, not perfect strafing, a bit of a slow warp, and it's a 122.3, okay? 122.3. He warped the Ormov door at, like, 15 flat, was it? And he got a 122.3 with errors. Now, on Ace's run, he warps the door at 2 seconds faster. So this run probably could have been a 119 with a perfect ending. No joke. I remember back in the day, like, threads would always come up saying, what's the best possible time? And, what are the max times in 20 years we're going to have? And, I used to say Silo, like, I had this vision 118 was like the end goal of Silo 00 agent. And I kind of saw that from back in 2008 in the Remember Me era. When I was getting, like, that's the thing, right? When you're getting 123 pace runs, the record's 128, like, you're that, far ahead of everybody on the level, you see things that other people don't see yet. And, like, I had the vision for 118 yet, based on the runs I had seen, and, like, the cycles of the door. And Ace had that cycle that would, like, do it, like, he had the potential. You can imagine here, it's like, I think Ace, again, he could have been a little bit crisper, a bit of tiny stuck there. And, like, I think right here, okay, before the second room. Yeah, look at this. This is the second room. Very clean, but, like, he could have been even quicker through there. And, like, that's the 118 dream, right? That's it. So the thing is, Ace getting 121 here would actually give Ace an untied sweep. He had just gone 1 minute on Agent, 108 on Secret Agent, 121 00. And that's probably why I didn't watch this run right when it came out, because I was a bit upset that Ace had a silo sweep, and it's my favorite level and whatnot. And a lot of time would go by, guys. A lot of time would go by. Ace's 121 would remain untied through 2014, 15, and 16. Now, he wouldn't keep the sweep that long, because Marc Rootsu would tie Agent 1 minute in 2014, as well as Luke would tie it a couple years later. Marc and I would tie the 108 Secret Agent, but Ace's 121 00 remained. Yeah, Ace took 2 weeks to sweep the level. That's often what happens. So we're going to jump ahead now to a time that a lot of you might be familiar with. And this is when I was live streaming my attempts at Silo 00. And a lot would go wrong all the time. It was crazy. Yeah, let's just watch this run. So one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is the Japanese version of the game. Many people will know the Japanese version of the game has left in all of the body armors. This can be useful. Certainly useful on Caverns 00 Agent. Very useful. On Silo, it can be useful. We know you can die on world record pace runs on Silo. We know that's the case. But, the body armor on Silo is a little bit further out of the way than on some other levels, unfortunately. So it's not ideal. Some people would get 129, 120. I think Wouter's got 127 with Japanese, which was the record with the Japanese cartridge when he got it. And that was the best. Most people get their 129, 130. They'd get their 80-point time, and they would move on happily. When I was going for Silo 00121, I would kind of switch back between the English and the Japanese cartridge. And because I believed you could get 121 with Japanese. My PB was 123 at this point. I slowly improved. I duped many 123s, and this was a speedrun I got sometime in November.
Yeah, it's true, Mark. It's true.
2017.
You can't, take advantage of one insane new strategy and get to the top 10. Why is it a... Okay, we're up. We have somewhat of a run. It's a high 50, which isn't great at all. Get out of the way. Wow, these complete apples, dude, I'm shocked.
So you can see I have full health now, double health, because I have the body armor, and I'll show you guys where you get it in a second.
Oh, it's a fucking low. I need to hit him too. It's a back boost.
Look how much damage I took.
Oh my god, dude.
Really clean run though. Some stucks. And I mean, really nobody thought that you could get world record pace runs with the body armor on Japanese. There's a couple extra guards as well, which make it really tough. But there it is. 123. And I slammed the controller so it zipped on to frigate, but yeah, so you'll notice in the second room, you have to go a little bit out of the way to get the body armor. And so what ends up happening is you will miss you'll miss a cycle, a 2-second cycle. So I'll probably get a 42 third room entry here when Ace was getting 45.
Okay, we're
So,
up.
so there it was, right? There's the body armor. You pause for the second room. Instead of going directly up the stairs, you take a little bit further into the room, body armor up the stairs.
Okay, we're up.
So it really doesn't lose that much time. But now here, exactly like I thought, now we're in this room at 42 instead of 45. So it's like a compounding time loss. Now the thing is, I believe that you can get 121, Ace's record, with the body armor on Japanese. I don't think you can get 118, you see? And that's a little bit pushing it. 118 is like, you have to skip the body armor to get that YOLO of a run. But for a long time, people would kind of get they play on Japanese, they would get, whatever, 127, 129, get their 80 points, 90 points, get out of silo, and call it a day. But I showed in this run, after, many hours of playing Silo 00, that you could use it to hit the world record. You could. And you could see the mistakes in this run too. It was a crazy time in my stream. Like, there's a back boost, and then I didn't hit that guard.
It's a low. I need to hit him too. It's a back boost.
Like, if I got boosted forward there, it probably could have had a chance at 122. And what's the end decimal on it? Yeah, so it was a 0.98, so that's like a 123.6. Had a shot at 122. And look, there's a lot to say about what would happen next, I suppose. Some of you were around for it. But I made a video which pretty much summed it up best. So I'm going to let the video do the talking. Now, in the video, I used copyrighted music. I used Time, Hans Zimmer. So I've changed that for kind of like a royalty-free, similar sounding song at the beginning. It's not quite as epic anymore, but you'll get the gist of it. And I cut out the part, another part where I watch a speedrun while listening to You're the Inspiration by Chicago, is it? So, but we're gonna watch a video. I know, Doctor, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be a little bit upset. I cut that part. But we're gonna watch a run that sums up the next series of events the best. Basically, I was struggling for Silo 00121. Clemens was going for Silo Agent 1 minute. Luke was going for Aztec Secret Agent 130. We were all struggling. We couldn't do it. Marc, meanwhile, had untied Silo Secret Agent 107, and he was gunning for the untied sweep. And it seemed like he had placed a curse upon all of us. And he was gonna get Silo 00121, and I had to do something about it. I had to break the curse, and we're gonna watch the result of a month of chaos of GoldenEye streams among the top 10 players. This could get crazily loud.
Oh my god, did I get it? Was that it? Point 96. Was that it? Yes! Fuck yes! 107. Fucking tonight! Fucking tonight!
Four back boosts for Luke. Unbelievable.
Get out of my way! Oh my good lord! What?
Oh man, that was a good run. That was a really good run.
I mashed send.
What? What? Help me! Help me! Help me! I'm dying! I'm dying! No, no, help!
This is actually a joke.
Who in the right mind would curse a GoldenEye cartridge?
What is that? What is that? Dude! I mean, I felt the run was really good, but I didn't feel like it was optimal.
Marc, duping 122s. He's gonna sweep Silo. It's scary times, man. It's really scary times. I mean, I know, it shows what we were going through, you know? It was tough, it was crazy. And now, I have to say, what follows now, a speedrun that is coming up, is dedicated to another SPEEDLORE champion 4-day bender. Thank you for supporting as the SPEEDLORE champion on Patreon. Thank you very much. This run coming up is dedicated to you after this brief clip of a famous doctor. So here we go.
Damn, you fucking...
Bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes.
Damn, you fucking... Damn, you
So
fucking...
don't get comfortable.
Still hurts to watch.
107. Fucking tonight. Fucking tonight.
I can't imagine anyone else is going to show up. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it, baby? I'll rewatch the run. Thank you all for being a part of this journey. The journey to Silo 00 Agent 121.
It was me. I used a Canadian IP address, that's it. I downloaded Carl's videos and Flickr got framed on it. I just did a mini Rutsu on Carl.
I mean, the crazy thing about all that is that Marc has been playing Silo Agent since, and he hasn't gotten 59 seconds yet. No one has got a world record on Secret Agent or Double Agent since. Clemens and Dan Swiss Parker have got on Agent. But what you saw there was... that's the rankings as they stand today. So is it possible that I bounced the curse back onto Marc Rutsu, and now Marc is cursed? Maybe that's the case. Honestly, rewatching that and that was such a epic moment for me that I really enjoyed, and it's like I whipped out that video the same night I got the record. It was like I played 5 hours the night before, 6 hours that night. Couldn't get it. Stopped streaming. Came back, played off stream. Got the record. Turned on the stream. Celebrated. And I bust out that video like that day. I just grinded it out. I was like so energized, so happy. I mean, it was really an amazing moment in speedrunning for me, and I really appreciated it. And seeing the way you guys in chat right now react to like having seen that again and having been there, I mean, that honestly does make me really, really want to return to streaming. It really does, because that was a lot of fun. That was like way too much fun. It's like there's a big part, over the last year when I've not streamed every night, like I just felt better. I feel like I have more time doing YouTube videos. It's just the lifestyle feels better, but like moments like that are just so I don't know, man. There's that allure that wants to bring me back to streaming, and I mean, you guys obviously want to see it, right? So I don't. I'm still torn. Like, I would love to, but it is a lot different. It's a much different lifestyle, and I don't know. I'd love to do it, and like I see, how to put it, man. There's a lot of good left to do, I would say, and maybe now's the time that we need to do it more than ever. Maybe that was a lot of fun. That really, really was. Okay, now I think there's one more run that I kind of have to show to sum up lore, because that's where we stand. We're a year and a half later. No one else has tied 121. Clearly 119 is still possible. Clearly. I could get it. Honestly, guys, I wish I would have unhoarded a 120. That's kind of lore. It's not quite that way. This is the tool-assisted speedrun. And this was done a long time ago. This was done in... I was going to say don't look. It's done in like 2009 or 2011. Super, super long ago. So let's watch the tool-assisted speedrun and see... I mean, like, what is... Like, look at this. Look at, like, what on earth is Henrik doing? This is... Like, this is a joke. Look at this. This is a complete and utter joke. Okay, so... What he's going to try to save a pause by traveling between rooms with the plastique out. This is a strategy that's been theorized for... It's one of, like, the oldest theorized strategies. You pause 5 times. What if you could skip a pause by traveling with the plastique out between rooms? Now, even in the TAS, he only does it once. Between one room, and he pauses 4 times. Like, it saves a pause. What if it's possible? I mean, like, this is a look. It's a joke. This is a joke, but it's good to see. Well, your first pauses cost about 5 seconds because they take the longest. Once you're fully quick paused out, they take like 2 seconds. So it's kind of hard to know. Silo Double Agent 103. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, something I meant to point out on my Silo 00 run is that... So there's, and again, I only did this because I was like so excited and was like, I can't believe this, and went into chat and told everyone to come by and watch me, watch me unveil the time. But this is what's funny. This is true, guys. If you watch the end cutscene on Silo 00 Agent, and you see how the silo blows up here, you see how it's blowing up in the background. What can happen with that blowing up? Like, for real, this could have happened on the 121, is that the scientists will die in the cutscene, and you will fail Objective E, minimize scientist casualties. So that 121 I got could have failed in the cutscene because of scientists dying. Seriously. I don't even know what would have happened then. But that's something you have to watch for if you are playing Silo 00 Agent. I know, unbelievable. And it looks like Henrik watched it on his 103. But I guess on a TAS he could easily go back and edit it. And it says, look, I mean, it's pretty crazy. It says, like, look, 105,000 re-records took nearly 3 months to encode this. So, yeah, that was pretty unbelievable. But guys, that's where we stand. That's Silo 00 Agent SPEEDLORE. It was really... I mean, that was a fun one, for sure. And I think, guys, that about wraps up Silo 00 Agent SPEEDLORE. Really. You know, thank you for watching, guys. It was good to be back. And I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned about Silo 00 Agent and the stories and the moments that made the level so personal to me. And, you know, now that we have both a GoldenEye and a Perfect Dark lore under our belt, we are really, really back in action. And it's going to be a great year of SPEEDLORE. And I'm thankful you guys are around to you know, go along on the ride with me. So I also got to give a big thanks to the SPEEDLORE legends for supporting SPEEDLORE on Patreon. We're really close to hitting our goal for March, which is really cool. So thank you guys for that. And something new that might happen that I've kind of added is, you know, I think in May, some of the GoldenEye guys are having a bit of a meetup. So it might be cool to possibly attend this meetup. I think Clemens and Boss are going to be there, and Jimbo, and it would be kind of cool to do a SPEEDLORE from there. So I've made a goal for that as well on Patreon. So thanks again to everyone who supported, and just everyone who's watched, hung out in chat. Chat was amazing tonight, guys, so thank you. we had a really positive chat tonight, which I'm keen to keep up all year long. So there you go. We will be back in due time. So my friends, thank you. And until then, stay true. And I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.